What's going on, guys? It's Rebel Tanker, and welcome back to Axis and Allies 1914, turn 11 for the French. Alright, it is February to July 1919. Like I said, the Central Powers, still consisting of Austria and the Ottomans, think that with the next 6 months they might still be able to gain some ground and some advances against the onrushing Allied forces. So let's begin. Austria with 33 in Bohemia, bought 5 infantry, 3 artillery, and a tank. Combat this turn, they attacked in Munich, which now has a Canadian Army card. So the French Quebecois are being represented. Obviously, this card is set up for the French turn, but when the Austrians attacked the French Canadian, the French and the French Canadians, they took out 1 infantry, 2 tanks, and a fighter, and the Austrians only lost 2 infantry. The French were not rolling good that turn. And then coming down to another card, the Austrians attacked the Allied forces in the Albania pocket, or I guess you could call it the Albanian beachhead. The Austrians were able to destroy the French contingent in Albania of 4 infantry and 3 artillery. However, the Austrians did lose 1 infantry and 4 artillery. So the French portion of the line gave as good as they got, and hopefully might have bought the Italians some time, but obviously, with this large Ottoman force, don't think the Italians will be able to survive the next Central Powers assault on the Albania beachhead. Alright, then no real non-combats for Austrian, so they collected 29 IPC. Germany had 20 IPC to spend, though their capital was contested. They still had another factory to build out of. So here in Silesia, they bought 2 infantry and artillery for 10 and had to save 10. They did do one thing of combat. Sensing the end, the German High Seas Fleet went on one final attack into Sea Zone 10. The battle lasted about 4 or 5 rounds. Their cruiser and battleship did dueled the British cruiser and 2 American cruisers. Both German ships made it through the mines, and by the end of the 4 or 5 rounds, the 2 German ships, the cruiser and battleship, were sunk, and the Allies lost the 2 U.S. cruisers. On the non-combat, knowing the French would take a lot of money if Germany ended the turn still with their capital, Germany decided to abandon their capital and retreat to Silesia, ceding the German capital and 10 IPC to the French that the French will get at the end of their turn. They will not have that 10 to spend at the beginning, though. I mean, I guess the way I see it, it probably would make more sense that the French would automatically get that to spend at the beginning of their turn, but I'm going to hold that off till the end of the turn. And so then, obviously, with no capital, Germany can't collect, so Germany collected 0. Alright, over to France. We had 77 to spend. So, with that 77, in the Ruhr, we're upgrading the minor to a major for 20 IPC, along with 2 infantry and an artillery. In Alsace, we're upgrading the minor from to a major for another 20 with 2 infantry and an artillery. And then in Marseille, we are once again buying an infantry, an artillery, and a transport. Alright, the French do have some combat this turn. The French are going to continue to push. First off, they are going to get a walk-on with 1 infantry into Prussia for 3 IPC. So Germany goes from 6 to 3, France from 39 to 42. And then we have the French army here marching in to Silesia We have 2 infantry, 9 artillery, and 3 fighters against 5 German infantry and 1 German artillery. So, alright, so we have the 3 fighters at 2, misses, the 2 infantry at 3, and we got 1 hit. And then we have the 9 artillery at 4. That's 3 hits. And that's another 3 hits. So that's a total of 7 hits. And then the Germans have 6 for 3. That's 2. And that's a miss. So the German contingent in Silesia of 5 infantry and an artillery, 6, are wiped out. The last remnants of the German Empire have been swept away. Prussia is now taken for the last remaining 3. Germany is now down to 0 IPC. And the French wave the tricolor all over Germany. And actually, just to do that, 1 second, I'm going to grab some French rondels. Okay, so we have the tricolor over Berlin. We have the tricolor in Prussia. And now the tricolor in Silesia. Now, can the French pull it off and raise the tricolor over Munich? So we do have the Battle of Munich. We have 14 infantry, 5 artillery, and a fighter going up against 10 infantry, 2 tanks, and 2 artillery. Okay, so 5 of the infantry we're going to hit at 3, 10 of the infantry. Wait a minute. Oh, sorry, 15. Yeah, 15 infantry, 5 artillery, and a fighter against 10 infantry, 2 tanks, and 2 artillery. Okay, so we will have 10 infantry at 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wow. Oh, and then I forgot the fighter at 2. Oh, wow. The French are really on the warpath. All right, and then they got 5 at 3. That's 3 more hits. And then they have the 5 at 4. And another 4. That'll bring the French hits up to 15. All right, now the Austrians. So they have 2 tanks at 2. 1 hit. And then they have 10 infantry and 2 artillery. That's 12 for 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And then for their final 2, 2 more hits. So the French got 15 to the Austrian 8. So let's see here. So the Austrians for 15. I think that's actually all of it. 10, 12. Oh, the French just did it. They wiped out the Austrians, who had an army of 14. And then again, the French suffered 8 casualties. So we will suffer... Let's see, let's do 2 artillery and 6 infantry, which 6 infantry. Yeah, 6 infantry out of 15. That'll leave us with 11. No, that'll leave us 9. What am I talking about here? Boy, I gotta get better. I gotta get better at my math skills. Okay. All right, so let's see. Munich is worth 4. Oh, and I didn't move the French up there. 3 for Silesia, and now I got to. So now I'm moving the French up 7 from 42 to 49, and the tricolor now waves over Munich. And look at that. The glorious French Republic marches on despite horrible hardships throughout this war. All right, let's get over to the non-combats. All right. Here in Europe, Alsace, Lorraine, you guys are coming on your transport. And I'm going to land you guys. We got to help the Brits in Egypt. They really need our help. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try and get this transport out so he can bring those 2 to Egypt. So let's see. All right, he makes it. So now these 2 guys leave Italy and join the Allied contingent in Egypt. Maybe I should have done that as an attack. No, shouldn't have done that as an attack. Right now the Allies just need to be defending. And then this transport is going to go 1, 2. So the French are actually going to be pretty well stocked on transports in the Mediterranean. Do I want to do that, or should I ship them to the Albania pocket? Oh crap. Sorry about that. I gotta be careful, especially this is a British Army piece that I got from Historical Board Gaming. They're really great pieces, but man, sometimes when they fall and they hit my concrete floor, they'll bust open or they'll break apart. So I always got to be careful. But anyways, back to the French. Let's see. No, right now the Brits need help. The Brits need all the help they can get in Egypt just to hold that line. So we will hold the line for them. Oh, and then I forgot another French purchase. I'm sorry. Did I mention that? No, I did not. And then I did it again. And there it is. I freaking broke it. God. There is going to be a French infantry in French Equatorial Africa. Well, it's not too bad. I can glue that. I've glued these pieces back before. I just need to get a different mic because this is ridiculous. Or at least got to figure out a way to roll this up while also not losing too much of it. But I will get him fixed. I know I can get him fixed. So there's that. Okay, so we'll stick with that. And then we'll just go into the deployments. Okay, first we have this French infantry and French Equatorial. Infantry, artillery, transport. And then up in Germany. First off, okay, this miner comes off. If I can get it off. What did I just knock over? And this miner comes off. Alright. The Ruhr and Alsace are back up and running, along with some new units coming out. So there'll have to be some little bit of consolidation in Alsace. That won't be a problem. All right, so then at the end of the turn, my goodness, France will collect 49 plus the 10 that they saved, or plus the 10 that they got for getting being ceded Berlin, plus 1 that they saved. So the French will actually have 60 IPC if we go another turn. All right, well, that is going to be it for France, and we will see you guys next time for turn 11 of the United States. So until then, guys, as always, take care.